Hey everyone, welcome back to Guitars, Whiskey, and Golf. Today I've got something different, something I haven't done before, which is I'm going to be comparing three different 10-year-old bourbons to help you understand the flavor profiles of these different bourbons and to decide where you want to invest your money. So I hope this will be entertaining for you and educational. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. So let's get into it. So the one thing I wanted to say is that I'm not going to sit here and tell you what bourbon is better because we all have different palates, different flavor profiles that we like. So you might like a bourbon that's super spicy. I might like a bourbon that's sweeter, and vice versa. So there's no sense in me sitting here telling you which one of these three bourbons is the best because that might not be your flavor profile. What I can tell you is all three of these bourbons are very good, and but they're a different experience, both from a flavor profile as well as price and availability. So it's a great comparison. So all three of these bourbons have been aged 10 years. Let's start with Russell's 10 year, made by Wild Turkey. Let's get into the flavor profile of this. Burst of vanilla right on the nose. So true to form, Russell's, made by Wild Turkey, is a super spicy bourbon. So you're going to get a lot of that like cinnamon, almost like a red hot. So if you are somebody that loves a spicy bourbon, the Russell's is going to be right up your alley. I do get quite a bit of vanilla, like I said, on the nose. A lot of spice, very oaky, but not in a drying way, but just a very, very spicy, oaky bourbon. If that's your flavor profile, then Russell's is going to knock it out of the park for you. I personally like a bourbon that's got quite a bit of spice. I also like something that's got a little sweetness and a little fruitiness. Price point about 45 bucks and readily available. So that's the great thing about Russell's 10 year. You can pretty much walk into any liquor store that's got normally a very good selection, and you're going to find Russell's 10 year and pay a very reasonable price for it, 45 bucks, like I said. Next up, we've got Henry McKenna. Henry McKenna is made by Heaven Hill, which also is making bourbons like Elijah Craig. So, very different flavor profile. Let's get into this one. Very different. Henry McKenna does have quite a bit of spice to it, but it's not as sharp as the Russell's 10 year. McKenna is a little bit more of a overall well balanced bourbon, so you don't have those sharp edges. I get a little bit of sweetness. I get quite a bit of spice, a little bit of oak. The McKenna 10 year, in my opinion, is an easier sipper. Ooh, just got a nice burst of like sort of brown sugar there. So easier sipper. The Russell's sharper, more spicy. McKenna price point 65, maybe as high as 80 bucks. This is in terms of availability, I would rate it poor. You but that is very regional and could be different in your area. But overall, I almost never see McKenna in my area, and it's quite expensive. It could push up into the $80 range. I think the more standard price point for McKenna is probably around 65, and in some areas of the country, you may see this on a more regular basis. So if you're just talking price point and availability, 45, 65 to 80, very hit and miss on availability. But a delicious bourbon, has some nice layers, and is very well rounded. Last one we've got here is Eagle Rare, made by Buffalo Trace. Classic 10-year-old bourbon. Buttery. Nice, almost like if you took a little bit of vanilla extract, a little bit of sugar, and a little butter, and put that into a little bit of a pan and started swirling it around over heat. Very nice. Eagle Rare of the three is probably the sweetest of the three, although it's not cloyingly sweet by any stretch of the imagination. But it has more, in my opinion, classic bourbon profile. Very nice on the sweetness. A lot of vanilla, brown sugar. Like I said, buttery. Almost like you're taking those three ingredients, putting it in a little frying pan, swirling it over heat. Three totally different experiences. Three different experiences in terms of price point and availability. Eagle Rare in my area, whenever I do see it, I only see it really online occasionally, and it's about $120. I know that some people can get Eagle Rare very easily, and it's more like 45 or $50. So shout out to my buddy Sean at Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. He was in the area and dropped this off for me. It's very available in his area, which is interesting. In my area, like I said, I almost never see it, and when I do, it's really expensive. So Eagle Rare availability in my area is poor, and the price point could be as high as $120. But in your area, it could be as little as 50 and readily available. It's hard to say. Very hit and miss. Delicious bourbon, very well-rounded, easy sipper, totally crushable. The McKenna, hit and miss on availability. Price point's probably 60 to 80. A little bit more spicy. I got a little hint of peanut right there, which is not surprising because Heaven Hill, the maker of McKenna, tends to have a little bit of a peanut component in their flavor profile. Definitely. Just all of a sudden. That's the thing with bourbons, is that when you sit with them and nose them multiple times, different things kind of come out. And all of a sudden, I just got this pop of peanut. Really good sipper. So there you have it. Russels by Wild Turkey, McKenna by Heaven Hill, Eagle Rare by Buffalo Trace. 3 10-year-old bourbons, 3 completely different flavor profiles, and different on availability and price point. So I hope that helps you decide what you want to go out there and chase, and what might fit into your flavor profile. And so welcome back to Guitars, Whiskey, and Golf. Getting a little slammered here on tasting 3 different bourbons. So take care, everyone. Thanks for joining Guitars, Whiskey, and Golf. Take care.